welcome to the Beauty Dish. Today it is time for the Perfume Diaries Volume 2. So this is a series that I do for fragrance lovers and for people who are trying to learn more about fragrance, kind of like myself. I am not an expert, but I'm kind of taking you along on my journey as I learn more and get more obsessed with perfume. So today's topic is where to get samples, because we obviously want to smell as many different perfumes as we can, and where to shop for perfume. So I'll tell you about the discount options that I like and some of the mainstream stores that I like and what the advantages are at shopping at all those various places. Okay, samples. So you can get perfume samples for free in various ways, and the alternative, of course, is paying for them from a perfume decanting service. So let's start with the stuff you can get for free. I think the best place to get free samples, well, there's a few, but the first one that comes to my mind is Nordstrom. Because Nordstrom's customer service philosophy is just so fantastic, you can walk into pretty much any Nordstrom and request a sample of something that they have out on display. A lot of stores, including mine on Michigan Avenue, they even have the little vials kind of right there so that the sales assistants can go ahead and just make you a sample. So that's great. I mean, of course, you know, my tips would be go very early if you're shopping on the weekend, or go on a weekday where there's not a lot of traffic in the store and the sales assistants will have time to make you a sample. Maybe you'll meet a really generous sales assistant and they'll make you a few samples. So that's a great option. Sephora is really the same way. Just the way Sephora is so great about giving you a foundation sample or makeup, whatever skincare sample you want, they'll make you a perfume sample. And that one I don't think is very widely known, but same as with Nordstrom, you can go and ask for a sample of something that they have out as a tester. So those are great options for free samples. And there are other ways to get free samples too that I'll get to later in the video. You'll see why. Now, if you want to sample something that isn't available at a lot of brick and mortar stores, you can order it online. Or if maybe you don't live anywhere near a Nordstrom or a Sephora, or you want to sample something that's a more niche brand that's just harder to obtain, Decanters are great. The two services that I have used and that I think are totally trustworthy are the perfumedcourt.com and surrendertochance.com. Both of them have extensive selections, and you can get a very small, gosh, maybe 0.7 mil is the smallest size, maybe even 0.5 mil for some things, all the way up to larger 5 mil, 10 mil decants if it's something that you just want a little bit of but you don't want to buy a full bottle. But they're great for samples, and the samples will vary in price based on the price of the full-size fragrance, so you're not really getting ripped off in any way. I think it's a really reliable and fabulous way to try really just about anything you can think of. I put both of those websites in the About box below, as well as all the websites I'm going to mention, everything that I talk about in this video, so definitely open that up for all of this info so you don't have to sit here taking notes or anything like that. Okay, so I am actually glancing at my notes right now, and let's move on to shopping for perfume. So there are discounters that are reliable. At first, when you Google something, and like FrangranceNet is one that comes up really at the top of a lot of search results, at first I was afraid it was so shady. But you can do your research. Like Makeup Alley has message boards on fragrance, and everything has been mentioned. Search the boards that are already up there, and you'll find people's reviews of various websites and which ones they think are shady and which ones aren't. The ones that I've either used or researched that I think are reliable are fragrancenet.com. And FragranceNet is good. They are definitely a discounter, but they do have really low prices, and that's the place to look for mainstream fragrances that have already been out for, I would say, at least a year. You wouldn't find like the brand new release from Dior on there, but you might find an older one that's been out for 10 years easily. So, for example, I am kind of in the market for a bottle of Alien, and I haven't quite gone there yet. But so, for example, if I want to buy it on FragranceNet, which I would, the price there today is $67.35 for a 2-ounce bottle of Alien, and the price on Sephora.com is $120 for that same size. So those are the kind of discounts you're going to get on FragranceNet, and I have ordered from them before, and I got a perfectly, intact bottle wrapped up in its box of the fragrance that I ordered. No problems with shipping, with service. It was fine. Of course, that's not to say that you'll never have a problem, but I think FragranceNet is reliable, as well as some similar websites, which are Perfumania. And by the way, FragranceNet, along with their discounts, they're also on Ebates, and today their discount was 6% on Ebates. Perfumania is also on Ebates, and you get 7% cash back. So always sign up for Ebates and use that. So Perfumania is a good one. They frequently have 20% off promo codes. Always look for promo codes. FragranceNet is kind of a funny one because basically everything is always an extra 20% off, and they try to make you think that it's super special and it's going to expire at any moment, but it's not. And I mean, you'll figure that out. It's not all that tricky unless you've never shopped on the internet before. Okay, so Perfumania is good. FrangranceX is another discounter, so you're going to find, again, the mainstream stuff that's already been out for a little while, but still good stuff, like the example of Alien. That's still, a very popular, very top-selling fragrance. So FrangranceX, they do occasionally have promo codes, so that's a great one. One that you might not realize that has a ton of perfume is Overstock.com. Yeah, so their prices are really good. I have not personally ordered from them, but I've ordered tons of other merchandise from Overstock over the years, and I think it's a reliable place to order. They have the same inventory as FragranceNet and Perfumania, all that kind of stuff, and they have a really wide selection at really good prices. So Overstock.com. And lastly, this isn't one that I shop at a lot because I love to shop online, but TJMaxx and Ross, or other stores like that, will always have a perfume section, and you can get great bargains there. Sometimes things that have recently been discontinued, which is fine. Maybe you'll find an old favorite, or just, things that there's extra inventory out there, just like TJMaxx, has with clothes or with everything else in their store. It's the same sort of deal, and you're getting authentic, totally fresh enough, in most cases, fragrances. So those are my discount options that I recommend. Those are not by any means an exhaustive list. Talk to other people who are into fragrance, and if there's a place you want to shop, search on Makeup Alley or other fragrance message boards. Fragrantica is the fragrance website that has a lot of message boards. You can ask a question on there or search the boards because the question's probably already been asked. Alright, the next group of stores I'm going to mention are not strictly discounters at all, but they definitely have their advantages, and part of that is getting free samples. And a lot of these stores are great if you like niche brands, so maybe brands that are either independent or just smaller or harder to have access to. You can find them at most of these stores. So the first one is Perfume1.com, and they have a lot of niche and a lot of mainstream brands. They frequently have 20% off discount codes, frequently, so if they don't have one, hold out, they're going to have one soon. And they also sell samples, so if you're placing an order there, you can get a sample of most of the things they sell. They make the samples themselves, just like a decanter would. So it's nice to tack that onto your order if you're already going to place an order. The next one is LuckyScent.com, and this is definitely a more high-end retailer, and they specialize in niche. They have a brick-and-mortar store in Los Angeles called Scent Bar, but Lucky Scent is their online store, and they have a great selection. They do not frequently, if ever, have discounts, but they also sell samples, and with every order you can request free samples. So it's like you have to, they do tell you when you're placing your order, but you have to write it in the comment box, and based on the amount of your order, like I think if you spend $55 or less, you get 2 free samples. But the great thing is you can request your samples, so specifically the fragrances you want to try, which is fabulous. You know, you're not just getting like the random sample grab bag that Ulta might send you. So that's a fabulous feature, and you know, the more you spend, the more samples you'll get, like up to 6 or something, depending on what you spent on your order. So that's a good reason to shop at Lucky Scent, as well as their selection and customer service. Alright, the next one, and this is even a little better than Lucky Scent, is AIDS. I'm writing the name on the screen because I am not sure how you pronounce that one. But this store, again, they do specialize in niche, and with every perfume order, you can request 7 perfume samples of your choice. They tell you to put in alternates in case the ones you want aren't available. So you have a very good chance of getting 7 samples that you actually want. That's a fabulous deal. I think every once in a while there may be discounts, but they're not great discounts on that website. But still, it's a great source, and you're getting great service and product. The next one is Beauty Habit, and they're sort of a high-end online apothecary, so they have like kind of cool niche makeup brands as well as fragrance, and they do specialize in niche fragrances, but they frequently have gifts with purchase. So it might be a gift with a specific brand, but they also, you know, throughout the year will do kind of like a big sample bag from Beauty Habit, and that's a really nice little deal. They also do promo codes every once in a while. Sometimes it's just for free shipping or it's just on makeup, but they do have a fragrance promo code like once in a blue moon, but that's another good source. Also, Nordstrom and Sephora. I love shopping for fragrance at Nordstrom and Sephora. Nordstrom because their customer service is just amazing. They have a great selection of brands, and their free samples are fantastic. So anytime I buy just a makeup, well, not anytime, but I like to buy my makeup at Nordstrom online because you get 3 free samples that you can choose, and they often have really great options for fragrance samples. So I buy as much makeup at Nordstrom as I can, and you can certainly buy your fragrance there as well. Sephora. Sephora's a little different. Obviously, they still have the samples that you get with every order, but I think twice a year, they do either double or triple points if you're a VIB, which, you know, everyone should be in their VIB program. And so you can get more points, and that means more like free rewards at Sephora and all that jazz. And of course, Sephora and Nordstrom are on Ebates, whereas those previous kind of high-end stores are not. You can add in that Ebates discount, and you know, you're doing pretty well. So those are my favorite places to shop, my favorite ways to get perfume samples. I have to admit that I really do love ordering samples from Decanters. It's like I could spend, you know, 30 bucks and just have a ton of little tiny samples of all sorts of things that I'm curious to try, so I do love that. Always look for your discount codes. I mean, there are advantages to all these different places, and I will have all the links that I mentioned in the About box, like I said. So my questions for you for this video, because I really like these Perfume Diaries videos to be interactive, so please answer all or as many or as few of these questions as you want. There's only 3, they're pretty obvious. But what are your favorite places to shop for perfume? Please share, especially if you have something that I didn't mention. Where did you make your last fragrance purchase? This one I'm kind of just curious. And the last question, do you have any tips or resources for getting samples? Where do you get fragrance samples? Please share. We all want to know. So thank you so much for watching. And always, tell me what you're wearing today, what you wore today, what you're wearing right now. Please, please, please share in the comment section. And for our next Perfume Diaries video, let me know what topics you're interested in. Should we talk about maybe start talking about different fragrance families? I don't know. I did a video on my top 5 summer fragrances, so I'm definitely going to try to work on those maybe for like each season, maybe for fall. But let me know if there's a topic that you're interested in. I would really like suggestions, because I want this to be interactive, and it's a journey, and I'm learning so much, and it's so much fun. So thank you for watching, and have a wonderful fragrant day.